Thank you for visiting the Coin Series channel again. Do you think we're all simply ignorant internet users who think XRP will magically increase our wealth? Not at all. It will all be for naught. Our financial situation has just worsened dramatically. Which do you think has a better chance of happening? Pay attention, I'm here to tell you that this isn't just something that the XRP community believes is a good idea. The truth is that a well-known individual is presently engaged in the cryptocurrency world. This individual, Raoul, rose to fame on the social media platform X, now known as Twitter, after working as an executive for Goldman Sachs. His number of followers exceeds 1 million. On top of that, he said that XRP is an opportunity that will never come again. My heart sinks, this is not the eccentric XRP group I remember. Many optimistic, seasoned people have been working in the financial sector for many years. And we ought to call it a once-in-a-100-year opportunity. I can get behind it, to an extent. Personally, I don't think that's an exaggeration. On top of that, I think it will lead to that for a lot of people. Beyond that, he is involved with this headline where his perspective is being discussed. The topic of whether XRP will ever be decoupled from the Bitcoin market has seasoned market expert Raoul chiming in. I must state categorically that I do not hail from any kind of financial family. Since I do not hold the title of financial counselor, you should not put your faith in my advice and put your money where my mouth is. I really enjoy making videos on YouTube about Bitcoin and related topics for fun and enjoyment. Allow me to make a little statement before we go into the meat of this article. Personally, I think Raoul is quite forthright when it comes to his arguments, and I don't care what you think of him or his views. This is an uncommon quality, however it is accurate. Just so you know, Rob Hall is going to share something with you, and it's straight from God. Paul attracted a sizable following as an early Bitcoin supporter, with many of them identifying as Bitcoin maxis. Like most rational people, Paul started to consider other coins as time went on. He did nothing but, we can all agree that he failed to satisfy all of his admirers. Even of the most toxic Bitcoin maxi-eternalists gave up on him and his cause. Furthermore, I've had enough of hate speech and comments, and he keeps it up. He seems unconcerned that anyone can advise me on what to purchase, read up on, or look into. Obviously, he does not find any merit in the maximalism arguments or the tribes to which he belongs. He was only attempting to win over his admirers when he finally came around, despite the criticism. I see that it's hard to keep such a sharp contrast, but it's simply not who he is. He will express his opinion on the qualities of XRP, which he does indeed think are meritorious. Look at this at your leisure. This week, XRP and other cryptocurrencies became the center of attention during a crucial conversation. In an extraordinary conversation, attorney John Deaton spoke with Rob Hall, former Goldman Sachs executive and current CEO and co-founder of Real Vision, about the cryptocurrency industry's potential for growth. I will pause for a moment to listen to your perspective on the subject. I highly recommend John Dean's crypto vlog channel. I watched the whole thing when I had some extra time. Whatever the case may be, I loved seeing how they interacted. So far, there has been no disturbance. This educational discussion is available online on the Crypto Law TV YouTube channel. Raoul's conviction in a logical approach to managing the volatile cryptocurrency market stands out as one of the most crucial points. He mainly made 2 points about Bitcoin, its robust community, and its usefulness in the real world. Even when the market is down, Paul will still put his money into assets that will actually be useful. This is also the reason he went out and bought XRP when it was trending because of the case the SEC filed against Ripple. I also tweeted about this update recently, as you can see below. Colin Brown, the author in question, is currently publishing an article on X that reads as follows, #according to Raoul, an executive at Goldman Sachs, XRP has presented him with a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and he is taking a bold step by putting all in. Because of his belief in Ripple's usefulness and robust community, Raoul is heavily investing in XRP. His argument continues by stating that millions of people would have access to financial services thanks to Ripple and XRP, and that this might lead to markets worth $1 trillion. This may seem like the most basic point imaginable, but I feel like a lot of people in the cryptocurrency world just don't get it. In the end, though, we'll prevail because of how practical everything is. At the time that the funds will eventually be converted into coins that may be used by both individuals and companies. The market is also not entirely functional because it has not yet reached full development. Oh, and it's moving at a snail's pace. Yet, surely it is the most apparent and uncontroversial statement ever made? In my opinion, that is correct. So, it's clear that XRP may be used for real-world purposes. It stands to reason that its future worth will soar. The piece continues. It is believed that XRP will outperform several of its competitors in the linear future. According to Powell, XRP was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You can find the precise quotation here. This is the winning shot. You can tell the price has decreased a lot the second you see something like that. We are aware of the fact that it is a fact. Half of the people haven't been able to get into the market. You will never have another opportunity like this. At that point, I went ahead and bought it. I have held on to it ever since. When XRP reaches $1 in 2021, I will remember it. His prediction is that XRP will likely reach a price 10 times higher. For this reason, he thinks $10 XRP is a fair price. While it may not seem out of the usual, I will admit that I am not an expert in making price forecasts or even pretending to be. It doesn't seem completely insane. So far, there has been no disturbance. It is interesting to note that John made public his XRP investment subsequent to Ripple's legal battle with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission on allegations that XRP was not a registered security. Considering this a once-in-a-lifetime chance, taking advantage of XRP's low costs, he has persisted in his investment despite legal obstacles, which is a tribute to the cryptocurrency's promise. While speaking with Ron Paul, attorney Deaton brought this up. His faith was solidified when he boosted his holdings in XRP whenever its price dropped, even though he owned some previous to the dispute. But here's an idea: what if we separate? For the sake of brevity, I will just say that there is an independent one from Crypto Basic that addresses this very issue. Otherwise, I will not bother reading the remainder of the post. As mentioned in this brief subsection, is XRP separation from Bitcoin even possible? You might be surprised by Rob Paul's reaction to this as well. So, what you have here is a record of that same conversation with attorney John D. At least this is one way that peace can be shown. It occurred to me that I should have asked Paul on the likelihood of XRP and other tokens breaking out of Bitcoin's control. Paul made the point that such a split would never occur. He emphasized that the Bitcoin cycle, the macro cycle, affects all market assets. Paul argued that this pattern originated from the fact that, following the financial crisis of 2008 and the subsequent reset of interest rates to zero, major governments across the globe started issuing debt at regular periods of 3 to 5 years. Paul asserts that Bitcoin and other digital asset price movements are mostly impacted by the debt refinancing cycle. Paul theorized that the synchronized environment generated by the 4-year market cycle, cyclical swings in interest rates would cause XRP and other altcoins to move in unison. Sure, their asset classes are rather secure. In fact, you could argue that, in the broad strokes of the imagination, you can see an exact degree of directionality, if you will. That way, you may talk about what's new in the world of cryptocurrency, precious metals, and stock markets. If we assume that, during times of general macroeconomic health, we will still see, generically speaking, directionally, then it is not completely out of the question that everything will keep moving in tandem. Since I would like to ask him this question, I am making an informed assumption. Nevertheless, I am not yet positive of the answer. He is actually referring about something very different when he says decoupling. It seems that way to me, because I believe that as the cryptocurrency market matures, its value will become apparent when you examine certain cryptocurrencies and assess them based on their individual attributes. This change has been noted by us. Another option is that 90% of cryptos were liquidated in 2017. You might remember what it was like in late 2017, but in the last market cycle in 2021, there were considerably less coins that popped off. The actual number is a mystery to me, but it was far less. It seems to me that there has been some progress here. My main worry is that there will be a stampede of capital into those cryptocurrencies. It should go without saying that none of our 20,000 coins are necessary. Got it. When discussing specific coin runs that are becoming more merit-based, I still believe it makes sense. But if you're talking about something separate, and it has to do with the decoupling of XRP from Bitcoin, I can't think we're talking about the same thing. Their relationship status is the only thing we're bringing up. Having said that, that is because, well, even the years when, on the whole, stock markets performed well? Sure, you might just say, here you can see the S&P 500. Obviously, it's not true. You can find stocks that fell at some bad companies, and local run is doing so well that it seems like nearly everything is going. I want to be clear, I think this is the way cryptocurrencies will go in the future. That much is certain, hot years will occur. I can guarantee you that will remain. On the other hand, will coin evaluations become increasingly decentralized? Personally, I think it's a yes. I think it's really clear, we've been seeing that shift for a while. I have been employed in this industry for over 6 years. It has happened now, indeed. A great deal in that regard, even during my short stay here. That being the case, I think it will continue to be so. This in no way implies that I hold Ron Paul's views in contempt. What I'm doing is just expressing my thoughts on the subject further. The way I've characterized him is that it's like you're discussing the movement of specific asset classes and the treatment of risk on assets in a specific way. If my perception is correct, which I think it is, then he's just more broadly speaking. Is Bitcoin doomed to stay the top cryptocurrency indefinitely? This doesn't rule out the possibility that XRP will overtake Bitcoin in terms of market valuation. Could be. However, I am not ruling anything out in relation to that proposal. While it's true that XRP's market potential will never be exhausted, Bitcoin hit its peak before XRP. I still don't know if that's always the case. In my opinion, the asset class is nearly mature and has come a long way since its inception. I would expect to see more of those kinds of moves as we get closer to that goal. I am just making that point. And we have some pretty awesome stuff there, too. Concerning the previous question, are you being an idiot by sticking with XRP? The answer is yes. Those longtime banking industry veterans from Goldman Sachs are making a triumphant return. According to Rob Hall, XRP has a $10 price target in the future. That makes sense to him. He said it was an opportunity like no other. Also, I can't argue against it. My expertise does not lie with financial advisors. In no way should anything I say sway your choice to buy or sell. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Catch you later, farewell.